Hey guys, Sophia here with Turquoise Toffee, and I'm back with another video. Today we're talking about the 2023 IFBB Pro League Daytona Pro. We had figure, bikini, and women's physique, and I swear these top fives were amazing. Extremely beautiful athletes. Wow, so impressive. And I've got my 5 weeks out to the amateur bikini prep vlog video coming soon. So make sure you subscribe. You don't want to miss it. It's getting really close. And of course, there was one more big show over the weekend. So my recap of the Rising Phoenix Arizona Pro is also on the way. All right, so in terms of Olympia, okay, last year's top 3 are automatically qualified. And then it's the winner of each contest in the qualification period who gets to go. There's no points for 2nd through 5th. It is just the winner. And the qualification period is literally coming to an end in a matter of days. It's so exciting. We're almost there. So let's begin with Pro Figure. In first place, Nicole. Second, Taze. Third, Kelly, fourth, Emily, and fifth, Danielle, and the points were very even throughout. So here's Danielle in 5th place, and my goodness, her legs are sensational. When I compare her quads now to the New York show, I can't even get over it. She looks so full, so pumped, really wide, curved, just unreal. She looked great in New York as well, but to me, she just looks unbelievably big and well-developed and just beautifully conditioned in the quads in particular. They're really catching my attention. The size, the shape, unreal. She's got really good size on her inner thigh as well. But man, the sweep is really impressive. She also has an extremely small and flat midsection with good detail coming through in her abs and a really nice upper body. She's incredible. This is my favorite suit, I think, of all the suits she's worn, and I love how high she pulled it up. I believe it's the same suit that she wore at the Chicago, but look at the difference when the straps are really high versus when they're more low on the hip. I think it's just so flattering to the V-taper. It really makes your eye see that triangular shape, and she looked incredible. This was an absolutely phenomenal showing for Danielle, and I think she did a great job. Next is Emily in 4th place. Unbelievable lat spread. So wide, great curvy shape. You really notice the width in her upper body, and then she's got a nice trim small waist, so a beautiful V-taper. She's got good definition in her abs. She's got great size in her legs. You can even see her glutes from the front, and man, those delts are massive. So overall, I think she's got great muscle size, great shape, beautiful silhouette, but I do think the conditioning could have been more so that the lines were sharper in the legs, more detail coming through. You know, if we could have seen a bit more of that chiseled look in the oblique, a little bit more outlining of the delts. And I think her tan could have been darker also. And then lastly, this suit is a little bit skewed. In fact, it almost looks like maybe she's not quite in the pose yet when this picture was taken, but it almost looks like this shoulder is a little higher, this hand is a little higher. It could be because the suit is not quite on completely level and perfectly centered, but to me there's just a slight incline towards this way. But anyway, I think she looks really good. I love her blonde hair. Her makeup looks very pretty. The suit color is gorgeous. It's a nice high fit on the bottoms, so your eye really sees that triangular shape as well. She looks really fabulous, but a few tweaks and I think she'd be even better. And I think she also has to be careful that she's not too ribby when she's doing her lat spread. Yeah, I want to see abs and not so much the rib. Okay, next and third is Kelly. Holy smokes, her proportions are amazing. The size in her legs compared to the tininess of her stomach is really exceptional. I think you definitely see that X frame. She's got some nice curve to the lats, beautiful roundness in her shoulders, but I do think she needs more size to the delts. If she could have a bit more height and width, I think that would really balance with the legs. She's got amazing legs, really full, very round, very curvy, and her conditioning looks awesome. I'm noticing the abs in particular, so lean, and nice detail coming through on her legs. I think she's got really nice, beautiful skin. I'm loving all the glowiness of the quads, but particularly I'm impressed by her tiny midsection and really beautiful curves in her lats. However, from a symmetry perspective, I don't feel like her shoulders are quite posed in a way that makes them look really perfectly symmetrical. I'm noticing this one seems higher, it seems a bit wider. Even her lat on this side seems to come out a little bit more than this one. So the balance is a bit off for me. And I wonder if it's just a posing thing, like maybe she's pulling this arm more forward, not sure. But so a little bit of tweaking with the posing, and I think she would really have that beautiful overall look. All right, next and second is Taze, and she does nail the symmetry. Her shoulders are completely perfect, well matched. The lats look, absolutely mirror images of each other. Really good detail in her legs. Unreal. Her shape is gorgeous, and the conditioning is wow. You've got feathering, you've got really sharp lines. You see every distinct individual muscle in her legs. Really, really amazing. I think she can maybe try to pull off a bit more curve to the sweep, and perhaps even just by having the toes pointed out, that might do it. There is a bit of a straightness in the shape of the legs as she is right now, but I am just floored by the detail that we're seeing in those quads. I think she's got a really nice small waist and just beautiful curvy lats. The size in her shoulders is good, but I do think she could have a bit more height here, particularly when I see her in the lineup next to our first place winner. Just a little bit more mass in the delts, and I think she would be unreal. It's a beautiful suit, very intricate, very unique. It looks great on her. I like the matching earrings. Her skin looks beautiful. The hair color is great. I think she just looks stunning. All right, Nicole in first place. She's got it all. Look at those delts. My goodness. They are so high. They're so wide. They're so round. They're just unreal. And what a beautiful match with her lats. She's got curves, she's got width, and my gosh, is her waist ever small. No one is looking as tiny as Nicole in her midsection, and she's got great definition coming through in the abs, in the legs, just head to toe. She looks so sharp. I think this is the tightest, most compact we've seen her. So I feel like at the Sasquatch show, there was a little bit more fullness in the legs, and now she's certainly more streamlined. It looks amazing. Really good detail coming through. She looks just tight and athletic and unreal. The suit is gorgeous. Her suits are always absolutely intricate and detailed and stunning, and with the jewels and the makeup. She puts so much beautiful thought and lots of touches of personality in her suits and her makeup. She's just stunning. But I mean, you look at her and you see symmetry, you see balance, you see detail in the definition, and you see that incredible X shape. So by far the best Nicole we've seen, and unreal. A beautiful first place. Okay, so everybody side by side. Nicole nails the symmetry. She has the tiniest waist with the biggest lats and the most curvy visible delts. I think you've got amazing detail in her legs. Taze beside her also has really good detail in the legs, but her waistline is not quite as tiny as Nicole's. I think here you can see Emily needed a bit more conditioning, even though she has some amazing size. She's got an extremely impressive lat spread. Danielle, her legs are just stunning and really a lot of mass in her upper body, but not quite the teeny tiny midsection like we're seeing on Nicole. No one is coming close to her shape. And what's interesting also is I feel that Nicole and Taze almost have smaller legs, or at the very least a more moderate quad sweep than third, fourth, and fifth. They just are having a little bit more of a compact shape. But the delts on Nicole really make her stand out in terms, compared to everybody else. And here's from behind. Again, Nicole's delts to me are just unreal. They have so much height. She's got a lot of mass in her back and the lats here. They're just beautifully curved. I love the fit of her suit, how it really kind of finishes the line from lat to lat. And her glutes look really good. She's got leanness and she's got lines and details coming down to the hamstring, but not as striated and lean as our second place winner beside her. So I think she really nailed that perfect amount of fullness with detail. Again, Emily, a little bit more detail coming through. A slightly darker tan, I think, would have been good. Kelly looks amazing. Her waist looks nice and small from behind, but not quite the same size in the glutes as Nicole or even Danielle beside her. And Danielle has some amazing curves, but she's not quite as carved out on the sides of her glutes as we're seeing from Nicole. What a great top 5. And in terms of Olympia, there she is. All right, Pro Bikini. In first place, Day. Second, Jessica. Third, Noelle. Fourth, Janine. And fifth, Rachel. So here's Rachel in fifth place. She looks beautiful. She's got this easygoing nature. The long, soft blonde hair, the more subdued makeup. She's got just a lovely way of posing her legs. You see all the muscles you need to. You've got that great sweep, you've got some hamstring, but she's not overly exaggerating her stance or the way she's popping her hip. She just looks easygoing and beautiful. I do think she could raise this hand a little higher. I think that would draw your eye more up to the width of her upper body. But I think she's got a really nice midsection. Her hourglass looks good. And I love the detail coming through in her conditioning here. So she's got overall a really beautiful shape. The hair could be to the back so that we could see the delt on her back arm. But that's okay. I think overall she looks stunning. All right, next in fourth place is Janine. Amazing. We've seen her so many times this year, and she's done so well. I think this is a great look in terms of the conditioning in her legs. The outline of her quad looks amazing. She looks really tight, very lean. However, comparing show to show, I do feel like we've lost some of the curve in her glute. It could be just the angle of the photo, but I feel like we had a bit more of that rounded shape in some of the other photos. And here we're getting a little bit more of a slant. With that being said, I think there's some great conditioning in the obliques. The lines in her back leg look amazing, and wow, her delts look gorgeous, really big and beautifully outlined. So let's take a slightly closer look. There she is, unreal. Her hair looks flawless, beautiful suit. She always has stunning makeup, great jewelry. She's amazing. All right, next and third is Noelle. Beautiful overall shape, really nice lats. I think you see that triangular shape from her midsection up to her shoulders. She's got extremely impressive hamstrings, Beautiful curve, nice size, the back leg as well. You got a great view of it. She's got this nice groove here without being overly detailed in the lines in her legs. I think she could have a bit more size on the glute up here, a bit more curve, a bit more roundness and fullness, but overall just a really nice shape and so pretty. Just beautiful hair, nice makeup, long arms, long legs, just a gorgeous overall package. Definitely needs to be careful that the shoulders are staying level just so that we get a really nice view of that hourglass. But man, she's beautiful. Second place, Jessica. Wow. So what really strikes me about Jessica, and I see it particularly in the lineup, is her waistline. Her midsection is so flat and tiny compared to her lats and shoulders. It's an extremely exaggerated shape, and I don't even notice it as much on a photo of her as I do when I see her side by side with other competitors. She really poses well to showcase that crazy shape. She has a nice size in her glutes. You know, she's got a moderate amount of muscle. She's not overly large in the hamstrings or quads or delts. It's just this very pretty overall shape. Nice conditioning, so you have lines, you've got bubbly curves, but man, her midsection, it's the proportions of her upper body compared to the midsection that really catches my eye. The suit is beautiful. Her hair looks completely, every hair is in place perfectly. Very face framing. Maybe a darker lipstick. I liked the darker color we saw here. But man, overall beautiful. She's got gorgeous skin, nice, just head to toe. She looks stunning. All right, now in first place is Day. This is by far my favorite look. I love the curly hair. I love the green suit. I think it's by far the best color. It's so flattering. It stands out. It just looks so good with everything about her. I love the color. I love the fit. I think the hair is voluminous. It just catches your eye with the earrings. She nailed it. Her conditioning looks fabulous as well. The line looks really nice and sharp down her leg. Her midsection is tiny, and the way she's posing is perfect for her shape. It's giving us a great look at her profile of her glute and her hamstring. Her waist looks the smallest ever because of how sideways she is, but we're still getting a really good look at the fullness in her delts. So she nailed it. Head to toe, perfect. Okay, here's the side by side. So I am drawn to the shoulders on Day. She's got so much size, a lot of width in her lats as well. So you really notice that development in the upper body. I'm drawn to Jessica and the waistline. She's just so exaggerated in the shape. You can't help but notice how crazy her upper body is compared to her lower body and the waistline. I think Day has a really good size in her glute with the leg. Jessica has a really beautiful shape here where the glute and the hamstring come together. I like the conditioning on Day. You see a little bit more detail in her back leg. Rachel has some impressive detail coming through on her hip here. Noelle, it's that hamstring that catches my eye, but I do feel that she needs more height and size on the top of her glute. And Janine, gorgeous detail in her upper body. I think her delts have a really nice outline, as well as the biceps and triceps, I think, look really good. The oblique looks very visible, nicely chiseled, but her midsection is not nearly as tight and tiny as Jessica. But I don't think anybody's midsection compares to Jessica. Beautiful lines in Janine's legs. And you know what? In this photo, I think her glute looks just a little bit more pumped and rounded. So, man, what a beautiful top five. And then from behind, this is where Day is really shining because of the length in her glutes, but also she's got a little bit more detail coming through in her hamstrings than anybody else. Really great lines in the adductors, beautiful fullness, great size, nice tiny waist, and you see that gorgeous amount of size in her delts coming through. I think Jessica has a beautiful shape, but not quite as much size as we're seeing on Day in the glutes. And man, everybody though, beautiful small waist. Rachel could have a little less hair, just a tiny bit of a trim. And Janine maybe could have a bit more length to her hair just to hide some of those lines on her back. But overall, absolutely stunning. Noelle, I thought, could have a little less hair covering the delts. So comments on the hair, but overall, beautiful. And there she is, qualified for Olympia. Now, women's pro physique. In first place, MARIE-SOLANGE. Second, Jada. Third, Heather. Fourth, Heather. And fifth, Andrea. Oh my gosh. Andrea in fifth place is mind-blowing in her conditioning in the abs. She's got like an 8-pack in there. Absolutely crazy 3D detail coming through in those abs. It looks so good. She's got great legs as well, a nice sweep, good conditioning. I love the lines that go right up her hip. Beautiful arms, but I think she just needs more lat. She could have more curve, more fullness, more roundness to really make that X shape visible. But my gosh, the conditioning, the abs, beautiful. And the green suit looks stunning, and I love that she has her hair up. It just really lets you see those beautiful delts and all of that detail in her arms. Unreal. Next is Heather in fourth place. So to me, Heather has a more substantial look. She's got a bit more muscle in her lats, just a really beautiful size in her upper body and great balance of upper body to lower body. She's got gorgeous detail in the abs, not quite as much of that 3D quality, so I would like to see that a little bit more, just a bit more of the outlining of each individual ab. But beautiful detail in the legs. I think she looks just glowy in the quads. When I compare to the Tampa, the lines are so sharp, the curves are so beautiful. She really looks great. I like the red suit. I think I like it better than the blue, and just with the lipstick, and man, she looks amazing. But what an X shape. I think her posing is really flattering. Maybe she could go up more on the toe of this foot just to have a tiny bit more of a delicateness to her posing, but that's the only thing I can think of. I think she looks amazing. All right, next in third place is Heather. Coming off of a great showing at the Masters Olympia, she looks amazing here as well. Maybe not as much detail coming through. You know, I could see a few more lines in her legs, for example, than I'm seeing here. I think her midsection was a tiny bit more lean than it is, but great detail coming through on the abs. And to me, she just looks really full, like full to the point of being tight. Like, I don't know how she's moving her arms with lats so full. She looks unreal. Really great detail coming through in the quads on this front leg. The suit is beautiful. I think the colors look really nice. She's got this crazy fullness and width to her upper body. She looks fantastic. I think if we could just have a little bit more detail coming through on the leg, and I was wondering if maybe she rotated the leg more towards the front. Normally I like the knee up, but I feel like if the knee was a bit more towards the photographer, maybe we'd see a bit more detail in the quad. She's got great sweep, nice overall shape. She just looks substantial and very full and gorgeous. All right, Jada in second place. Are you kidding me with her midsection? She's absolutely tiny. What a... I can't even get over it. Her waist is so small. So much detail coming through in her abs, like just an absolutely flat belly. That's crazy. And then beautiful round size in her legs. Lots of detail coming through in the quads. The lines come all the way up her hips. Great size in the lats as well. Like just overall, wow. Stunning shape. What can I say? I'm blown away by how tiny her midsection is. I do think, though, that she could have a suit that fits higher. You know, if it came up a little bit closer to the belly button, it wouldn't have such a hip hugging effect. And I think it would make her look even more V-tapered. Right now, my eye is kind of stopping and going straight across from hip to hip. I do think, though, that she could have a bit more mass in the shoulders. Not a lot, but just to really fill out this upper body and have a bit more height. Compared to our first place winner, that's what I saw. But her legs are amazing. Her conditioning is spectacular. The hair being in an updo lets you see everything so clearly. I think she really looks amazing. Okay, MARIE-SOLANGE knocked it out of the park. Everything is absolute perfection. Her conditioning is unreal. The detail in her legs is so beautiful. You've got the quads perfectly outlined, her inner thigh all the way up the hip. Her waist is so tiny and she's got great detail coming through in her abs. Her lats are insanely round and curved and full and beautiful size in the muscles in her upper body. The balance is just perfection. The arm to the shoulder to the lat, the upper body to the lower body, left to right. And then you stick in this tiny midsection in the middle. The X frame is undeniable. The fit of her suit is perfect. The colors, like she just looks amazing. And the glossiness on her tan makes her lit up like an angel. I swear, she looks so good. This is my favorite look from her. A clear winner. She's got mass. She's got beautiful proportions, great posing. Unbelievable. The only thing I'm not crazy about is the extra little bit of gold eyeshadow on the sides of her eyes. The reason that I say that is in the lineup photos, her eyes are very eye-catching, and I don't think it adds anything. I love that she's got a lot of personality showing through, but I think it's just a touch too much makeup. But still, I like the Pittsburgh look. I think it was just a bit more subdued, but I do love those lips. Overall, I'm just so impressed. I think she looks incredible. Okay, here's everyone side by side. Maybe you see what I mean about the makeup. It's just a bit bold for my taste. Now, MARIE-SOLANGE's proportions are so beautiful. Her waistline is gorgeous. You know, Jada also has an extremely small midsection, but she doesn't have that same width and mass in the upper body. Heather beside her has a lot of mass. MARIE-SOLANGE has a lot of mass. The detail in her legs as well, beautiful and gorgeous curves. Andrea, I think, could have a little bit more of that lat spread to make her waistline look even smaller. Heather looks beautiful. Maybe a slightly darker tan would have been good as well. But geez, MARIE-SOLANGE, I just think her shape is undeniably X. And then from behind, I'm loving the fullness and roundness in MARIE-SOLANGE's glutes. I think Heather beside her in third had a little bit of striations coming through. Heather in fourth beside her had a lot of striations coming through. Whereas MARIE-SOLANGE still has a beautiful fullness and roundness in the glutes and a tiny waistline to show off the V. Jada's glutes have a great size, but maybe not quite as much fullness and 3D in the back. So in terms of Olympia, there she is, qualified. And I've got more recaps coming your way. There's more shows. And there was also a Masters component of this show, which I will have to get to later in its own separate video. So stay tuned for those. Make sure you subscribe. Give me a like if you like this video. Comment your thoughts below and come find me. I'm at turquoisetoffee.wordpress.com and of course on Instagram at turquoisetoffee.